This is the Next Level Loan Officers podcast. To learn more about Next Level Loan Officers, go to becomenl.com.
Well, all right. Welcome, loan officers, to another podcast from Next Level Loan Officers, the #1 podcast for loan officers by loan officers, something that we are super excited about. And listen, if you are listening to this podcast or you've listened to our podcast in the past, and maybe you've gotten a marketing tip or something that has helped your business, just imagine what's on the other side. If you have an interest in joining us, we would love for you to become a part of the Next Level family. You can head over to becomenl.com. Again, becomenl.com. And listen, you can join our family. It's $197 a month. And there is a whole treasure trove of stuff that we provide you, and different marketing materials, assets, all kinds of things that you can use to grow your business. So again, if you think the podcasts are awesome, man, jump on over and check out becomenl.com and get a whole bunch of other great assets, including what we're going to be talking about today, which is our Next Level Loan Officers Playbook. Now, for those of you who aren't super familiar with Next Level Loan Officers, or maybe our playbook, we have spent hours and hours and days and weeks really building out this playbook that we know will help loan officers grow their business. We have coached hundreds of loan officers throughout our career, and really it boils down to a few fundamental things that we believe are what drives success for loan officers. And we've taken that and put it together into our Next Level Playbook. And so it will guide you every day on the things that you need to be doing in your business, not only to go out and generate more traffic, but to manage your existing clients, to make sure that you're touching them and speaking to them on a regular basis, to track your inbound leads, and to do all the things that we know as loan officers that we need to do. I want to take this moment now to welcome our guest to the studio. And I'm here solo today. Sean, Shane, and KT must have the day off. I'm still here in the studio cranking out this podcast. But I want to welcome a good buddy of mine and, an OG to the Next Level family, Mr. Justin Kautz. Justin, welcome.
Thanks, Kellen. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, you bet. So, Justin, you've been around Next Level for a long time, and man, you're such an awesome asset to our group and to the loan officers who not only have learned a lot of things, from you over the years, but I'm sure you've taken away a few good nuggets from the group as well.
I mean, the nuggets are unbelievable. I'm blessed to be a part of this group. There's not a better group for loan officers in the country. I truly believe that.
Well, we appreciate that. And, for those who are members, we're actually heading to your kind of your neck of the woods, your half of the country, I guess, in September. So we always, bounce around a little bit. We try to cover the coast because we've got members from coast to coast. But, man, we're going to be in Scottsdale in September for our next mastermind and live event. So, man, I'm excited to see you then. And you won't have to travel all the way across the country to hang out with us.
I'm excited about a quick 1-hour flight to Scottsdale. It's just going to be up and down, and it's going to be fun to see everybody and get reacquainted. So,
yeah, absolutely. Well, good. Well, listen, I asked you to come on here today because I think it's so important. You are, as many of our loan officers within the Next Level family are huge proponents and users of our Next Level Playbook. I know you've often done Instagram videos and Facebook posts and all kinds of things about your playbook. And like I am too, I'm religious about carrying mine around and using it on a daily basis. But I wanted to kind of bring you on just from a loan officer's perspective, how you use the playbook in your daily life, in your, every day, keeping it on your desk, that kind of thing. So for the listening audience that may not know what it is or how to implement it, give us a little, background into kind of why you started using it and what the impact has been.
Well, first, Kellen, I think the first reason I started using it was just for the daily planner, which is huge for me because obviously we all have our Apple calendar or whatever in our phone or on our computer, but I just like that you can touch it and feel it and use a pen, because we've got all this great technology, whether it's our CRM or all of this stuff on our computer to keep us organized. But I still use like whiteboards for I have my pipeline in my, in my computer, or however you want to use it, CRM, or however you organize it. But I still want to see it. I still want to see my pipeline. I still go, that one's disclosures are out, and I can see it. There's something about touching and feeling it. So I started using the Playbook for your day. The to-do list is great, and tracking your leads. That whole left side is huge, and then daily focus is a whole nother area.
So you covered several big chunks of the book. So I want to just take a moment and kind of break these down, and maybe you can give a little commentary on each one. So you started with the daily planner. So this is, if you're thinking about a book laid open on your desk, this is really the left side. And this is, if you think about what we teach in Next Level, and if you've ever been to a live event of ours, we talk a lot about this 80-20 and really where you're spending your time. And so this side of the planner should really be where you're carving out that, hour or two a day that you're 100% focused on your money-making activities, right? Now, for some people early on in the process, that may be 30 minutes, right? As you kind of grow in your business, then that becomes a bigger and bigger chunk. But it's also to really sit down and think about how you're going to run the day ahead of time, not necessarily how the day is going to run you. So do you find, Justin, that when you take time, maybe the night before or on a Sunday night, thinking about your week, that if you kind of put those things on paper and plan it out, do you find that you're more productive during the day?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not just Sunday nights. I mean, I sit on the couch with it because, I'll watch the Dodger game or whatever, and I can't focus on my computer and a TV, but I keep that thing in my car, or absolutely every night I'm making notes for tomorrow, that this is the time I got to take my kid to school, and this is the time I'm going to go to my gym appointment, and this is the time when I've got that new person coming in, or whatever, and I'm going to do video or whatever I'm going to do. Absolutely every day.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's something that while so simple, right, is really lost on a lot of loan officers. And we talk about this at our live event, that, listen, if you don't have a clearly defined plan for how you're going to execute the next day, then you're really just walking in playing defense all day long, right? Because I can stay busy just dealing with other people's issues, or dealing with fires, or busy work, or whatever, right? And I think a lot of loan officers say to themselves, man, I'm really busy. I'm a busy guy, but what do I have to show for it? Where are the leads? Where are the loans? Where's the traffic, right? I'm busy 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., but what am I doing? And a lot of that stems from not having a plan in place, right? Going into your day, you're not thinking about what are the action items, what are the key things that I need to accomplish tomorrow, and instead you just go in a reactionary state where you're just reacting and having to deviate from your plan to go deal with everything else. So, really specifically, when we talk about those money-making activities, most loan officers probably spend, and not you, Justin, because you've been a part of the family, so you know this stuff, but most loan officers really, if they're being honest with themselves, probably spend less than 15 minutes a week really doing money-making activities. And one of our initial challenges within the group is to expand that, right? To really double it. Say, okay, why don't you spend 30 minutes a day, right? Or why don't you spend 30 minutes a week, or an hour a week, really focusing on those money-making activities. And again, that grows over time. So that's awesome. So that's your day. That's planning it out. So you mentioned the other piece, which was the to-do list, which kind of goes with that as well, but really the tracking your leads. So talk a little bit about that. What were you doing before, or were you doing it before? And how do you do that within the Playbook now?
Man, it's pretty embarrassing. I mean, I had pieces of paper all over the place, sticky notes, or, just not organized at all. But I was even, I go through my my leads. And sometimes I end up writing a lead. It says new leads, but I'll write a lead over and over if I keep following up with them. And some of the, the winning moments is pretty cool. I had one from yesterday that this guy, wanted to refinance. I kept following up, kept shooting a bomb video. I quoted him, just goes dark, keep following up. And sure enough, a couple weeks later, he's disclosed and he's, we're approved just like that. So I just keep filtering those leads, keep going over them, and keep following up.
Man, that's awesome. I think you said that, hey, I'm kind of embarrassed. Maybe I wasn't tracking them all before. And I think there's probably, you're probably in the majority of loan officers in that category. Again, we built this playbook specifically around all of the things that we heard from loan officers over our years of coaching, right? And one of the biggest ones is, I don't know where I don't know where my leads come from, or I'm not tracking my leads, meaning I'm putting them on a Post-it note. And, if you've ever been cleaning your desk and you pick up that one piece of paper and there's like a Post-it note stuck to the bottom of it from a lead from like 6 months ago, and you're like, oh man, I never called them. And you reach out to them and maybe they've already bought or maybe they've already refinanced. I mean, that's the worst feeling ever. So you make that mistake once and you won't do it again. But that's the whole design around this playbook, right? Is to be able to track where all those things are coming from. Not only the leads that you get from realtors, but Justin, we have in there a lot of different activities that you can do on a daily basis, whether it's calls, text, emails, handwritten thank you notes. There's about 12 different categories. And we want you to really track your leads by category, right? So and Justin, I'll let you share in just a second, on what works for you. But for a lot of our loan officers in the group, they're like, man, all my agents want to do is text. Great. If texting works for you and you can drive leads and traffic just by texting, just do that. But just do it really well. Do it at a really high level. There's no one size fits all. There's no magic formula. Everybody's market is different. Everybody's referral partners are different. For some of our folks, it's doing events, right? Well, if I can do, they're like, well, I do events and it drives my realtors and it drives all my business. Great. Then do that. Do 2 or 3 events a month. But if that's what's driving traffic, then that's what you need to do. The challenge with most loan officers is they don't know what that thing is. They don't know what the single item is or the 1 or 2 things that do drive that traffic. When you look at that, Justin, is there something that sticks out to you when you're doing your playbook of like which activity seems to drive the most traffic?
Yes, because when you look at your circle, which is like anybody that can refer you business, primarily real estate agents, or maybe you got some advocate who, anybody, it could be anybody, but it's mostly realtors or your past and present clients. I just kind of try to figure out which ones really, like you said, move the needle. So past and present, for sure, that's going to be social media because you're always, or I'm always staying in front of them that way. Yeah. Whether you're sharing your family, what you're doing, or actually talking about the business that we're in. And I think that HomeBot is huge there too. And it stems, you could do a lot of video through HomeBot because there's constant reminders of who's watching what. So, and then also HomeBot transfers into your circle as well. So I think obviously text messages and bomb videos are huge, and social media as well. Those are my 3 big: text, video, social media. And I'm planning on doing more events in the coming weeks as well. Kind of just gives you a broad idea of what you should be doing too, or what you can be doing, and also who you can delegate this stuff to as well.
Man, that's awesome. So for you loan officers that are listening, and obviously you're not looking at a copy of the playbook, we have 2 big sections that kind of define who we talk to during the day. Well, there you go. And you can, so check us out on YouTube. You can watch this. Justin's holding up a copy of the book right now. But listen, you got two sections there. They've got the Your Circle, which is, like Justin said, these are anybody who refers business to you. Yep, there it is. So you've got realtors, financial planners, insurance agents, divorce attorneys, title companies, appraisers, anybody that's in your circle. This could be friends and family as well, who drive traffic to you. Maybe you have an employer that you work with that relocates and you get a lot of traffic from them. Doesn't matter. But whatever that is, we want you communicating with them on a very high level. And there are very specific buckets to do that. For Justin, he said, listen, I know exactly what drives my traffic, right? It's social media. It's HomeBot. It's things like that. So, if you ask Justin, hey, where do you get your business from? He can tell you right off the bat because he's using that tracker. He's using this system to track all of those activities. And he could probably tell you how many leads a month he gets from social media right out of the gate. So if you think about this, loan officers that are out there, if Justin's feeling like, hey, maybe my business is slowing down, maybe I need to ramp something up, I want to drive a little more traffic, I want to put a few more loans in the pipeline, he knows exactly what levers that he needs to go pull, right? He's going to go start pulling on the social media lever. That's probably your number one driver, right? So what's he going to do? He's going to up his social media presence. He's going to put more targeted things out there. He's going to talk more about loans, talk more about low interest rates. Hey, the market just improved. Hey, this coronavirus news coming up has really pushed rates back down. Now's the time to refinance, right? So hey, the adverse refinance fee is going away. These are all topics that he's going to start pumping out on social media in order to drive that traffic, because that's what drives it for him. For some of you, it may be, technology touches, or it may be handwritten notes, or it may be doing events. All of those things, you have to decide that for yourself, and then you know what lever to pull on. That other section there is past and present clients. And so anybody you're talking to currently or that was in your past database, we want to be talking to them as well. And you mentioned a few things that cross over there. So like HomeBot might apply to both. You may have HomeBot for past clients, and you may have HomeBot also as a realtor touch point. So there's a lot of different crossover. Again, all that's trackable inside of this book to really give you a clear idea on what's going on inside your business. So if you're a loan officer and you don't have something like this, man, go over to becomenl.com and join us. And I'm going to let a little cat out of the bag here. And when our operations people listen to this podcast, they're probably going to cringe because I'm not supposed to say anything about this, but I'm going to break the rules anyways. You're going to like this, Justin. So we are rolling out in the next few weeks something that we're calling Power 90, which is basically a 90-day high-intensity kind of accountability class within the Playbook. So we're really going to take that, and for new folks coming in, this will be a required deal to go through our Power 90 course. And then obviously for anybody who's currently in the group that wants to go through it as well, we're going to open that up. So for our current members, that'll probably come, we'll probably really roll that out in September at the next event. But stay tuned for that, Justin, because that's going to be pretty cool. And you're as a heavy user already, you'll really enjoy. That's going to basically be a 90-day deep dive kind of accountability for the Playbook piece. It's going to be really great. If you're a loan officer out there, you're listening to this, and you're like, man, I'd love to use a tool like this to get 3 or 4 extra loans a month. I promise you we can do that. It'll take you there. Justin, any final thoughts? What have you noticed? We'll kind of leave on this. What have you noticed biggest change in your business by using the Playbook on a daily basis?
It's accountability. It's not letting things fall through the cracks. It's being able to delegate. I had a Facebook. I saw something on Facebook the other day. Some clients that had reached out in the midst of the 2% rates. I don't know, a few months ago, and they wanted to refinance. It didn't look pretty. It didn't look perfect. I didn't follow up with them as as well as I should have. And then I see last weekend they close on, 340 purchase.
Oh no.
But it's like you see stuff like that, and every lead counts. And if you're not able to follow up, then what do? You need to have another person on your team to do that. So I just think it helps me not let stuff fall through the cracks.
No.
One last thing that I really think that everybody should take advantage of is your winning moments. Like, it's tough. I was getting beat up last week. Just focusing on the negative, like, man, this is hard. It's, they're not coming as quickly as I thought they should, but you should celebrate those winning moments. I had 3 yesterday that I put down. One high balance purchase, I almost lost it because we didn't have the assets that we thought we had for LP, but we were able to use pooled assets. I didn't even know what pooled assets. So we pulled a rabbit out of a hat. Celebrate those winning moments, because you should take pride in what you do, and you should try to lift yourself up. So I think that's a little nugget in the book.
Man, that's a great point, Justin. There's a whole third of this book, not only winning moments, but there at the bottom on the second page, when we really talk about the things that you do for yourself. A third of this book is really dedicated to your loan officer mental health in a way, right? What are you doing to grow your business? Are you listening to a podcast? Are you reading? Are you educating yourself? And then to your point, are you celebrating the wins? We always joke in our office, man, we might celebrate a win 3 or 4 times. We need it, right? It's being a loan officer is hard. It's hard work. And, we get rewarded for that. But it can be a tough journey along the way. And there's a lot of loan officers out there that don't make it or give up or, just feel really beat up by the system. And so you're 100% right. Celebrating those wins, putting them down on paper, writing them down, and then going back and reflecting on them. You may see 90 days from now or a year from now, you go back and you go, man, I remember where I was then. Look at where I am now, but I remember where I was then. And that's how you see real growth. It's not you against every other loan officer. It's not you against other loan officers in your market. It's you against yourself. Can you grow? Can you achieve more than you thought you could? Can you continue to move in the right direction, measuring only against yourself? That's all that we ask, is that you continually improve. So, Justin, thank you so much for being on today, man. You're, like I mentioned, just such an asset to our group. We're honored to have you a part of the Next Level family. Justin's been there, I think, since the beginning, right, Justin? Am I remembering that right?
Not right since the beginning. I think my first one was Dallas.
Okay.
October of 18.
Okay, so not far, not too far. So, well, we appreciate that. I know Justin's an awesome leader in the group, and again, it has brought a lot to a lot of loan officers, and we appreciate that. And thanks for being on today. And like I said, if you're a loan officer and you want to learn more about Next Level, you can head over to becomenl.com. Again, that's becomenl.com, and learn more about our group. Thank you so much. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, loan officers. We'll talk to you soon.